Puppy dogs. Let's get an apron on. Hey, get out of there. Yeah, no peeing on shit. Oh my gosh, just beeping. Sorry for blowing my nose, but I gotta blow my nose. And I blow my nose very loudly. Alright. Okay. Wait till we get some viewers in here, because if I start, there's a lot of questions on what I'm doing here. Alright, I'm just gonna wait for see if anyone wants to join me before I start doing this, because I get asked all the time, how do you do your snow effects? It's super easy. And I'm gonna wait till I get some people so I can explain to them. Maybe fewer than 100 times. Let's see. Ooh, Foundation. If you haven't watched The Foundation, watch that show. It's fucking good. There's one. What's up, Tyrell? Just gonna see if anyone else comes in before I start. I've already done some work this morning. I basically on the dome for the head, I masked off this little part and painted that metallic. Now the dome isn't 100% perfect. It's a lot better than it was yesterday. had a lot of really imperfections on the inside of the dome, so I wet sanded it down, tried to get this out, and I re-clear coated it. And it's not 100%, but it's better than it was. Actually, Luis McClellan's like, yes, better than it's clearer than I thought it would be. So the inside's got a little bit of orange peel, which actually actually works okay. I think adds a little kind of frosty look to it. And then I glued on the dome for Violet, is that her name? Or Nova. And again, the dome isn't perfect, but it looks pretty good. There's some inconsistencies in the resin and stuff, but I think it'll look good. It looks good in his hand. So I just kind of, I'm not going to glue her in. I'm going to leave it. So I did glue the dome on for her, so you can't take that off. The dome on his head is removable. Come on, focus. Oh crap, I'm sorry. I dropped the mic. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. So I got to finish up by doing snow effects, and then other than that, I think it's done. And then pictures. So when I do a job, the job isn't done until I post photos. That's when I consider the job done. I posted a couple links on Facebook, see if anyone wanted to join in. I had to stop this. I had to go back to the store today. I returned that wooden base that I bought that didn't work, and I bought some more the molding paste. So this is what I use for snow: Golden Light molding paste and just Woodland Scenic Snowflake. Snow. This is Snow 140. I'm not sure there's different snows. I bought this. Oh my gosh, it's probably been 15 years ago, and I've only used this much. But again, I'm not doing a ton of dioramas. So I follow this painter. She is amazing. Diana Hayes. Her work is phenomenal. So if you don't follow her on Facebook, follow Diana Hayes. It's stunning. Really, really good. I think she's more of a mini painter, but man, I'm blown away by the stuff she does. Okay, well, I'm not sure everyone else is going to join us. Anyway, so yesterday, if you were hanging out, I got the wires all the lights installed, wired up. Got the plug installed in the back here, which initially I thought I wasn't going to do. I was going to do that wooden base, but this actually worked out pretty good, I think. Is he sitting flat? What was that? That didn't sound good. Oh, that was his hand. Shifting. I'll probably end up gluing his arm in, his hand in, because again, I don't have to ship this thing. So anyway, yeah, my ADHD brain going 100, working at 100% right now. So I'm gonna unplug him while I do these snow effects. I gotta cover up the port for the plug so I don't get snow in there. I just sprayed the tips of the icicles a little clear blue. Technically, it should have been kind of clear blue at the bottom and then clear at the top, but I did it reversed just because that's how I did it. But that way, when it's turned off, at least it's got some tone to it. And I did end up getting a little bit of blue overspray here and there on the metal, but it's okay. It's very subtle. It doesn't stick out. So I'm gonna plug the plug. Because I'm gonna put snow around, really pretty heavily around the bottom of these icicles. Let me take him off the base for now. Put it to the side. So anyone who's hung out with me before or seen this process, it's not too difficult. Get yourself a couple of shitty brushes, a cup, your modeling paste, or mold. I say modeling, it's molding paste. And depending on how you mix this will determine kind of how the snow is. The more molding paste, the more peaks you'll get. And the more flakes you add, the fluffier the snow is, kind of. So there's no mixing ratio, so don't ask me about a mixing ratio. Just mix until I feel like it's how I want it. Alexa, read notifications.
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. The shipment will arrive today.
Okay. What's going to arrive? Is this something I ordered or something my wife ordered? What did I order? Okay. So kind of the hardest part about this process is kind of getting it to stick to your surface initially. So I typically use like a sculpting tool and just kind of push it into place, then use my brushes to kind of sculpt it. You have to excuse me, there's something in the air because I just keep getting all these frogs in my throat. Okay, so I kind of got this. So I think I need to get this up a little bit higher. I need to get this on top of something. How can I put it on? So, like, the biggest spot is really kind of under these icicles. I'm going to fill this gap in. I'm just going to pack this in there. And I really don't care what it looks like to begin with. I just want to kind of get in and fill that gap. And then I'll kind of sculpt it. Now, when I put the clear coat on these icicles yesterday, I didn't clear it all the way down to the bottom because I needed to keep the bottom part a matte finish, so this would stick. It won't stick very well to a glossy surface. It will to a point. I've done it before, but it sticks much better to a flat / matte finish. So I just get it on. I don't care what it looks like to begin with. just mixing a little bit of this up at a time. This will also hide any wire because I can see the wires a little bit underneath. But I like to use a sculpting tool because I can really push it onto the surface and get it to stick. It's gonna be a while before it starts to look like anything. Okay, once I get this kind of these gaps filled in, I'm going to mix up a little bit more and we'll start kind of blending into the surface more so it doesn't look so weird. Okay, then I'm gonna get my just a shitty brush here. A little more. So if it's too dry, it's not gonna stick. It's maybe a little too dry. meant to come back and add a little more to this after it dries a little bit. It's pretty thick. What's up, Tony? Christmas is almost here. Yes, it is. So I used some self-adhesive black foam, and then I just put some felt pads on there because the wires are actually on the bottom of the base. I mean, it's not super pretty, but it's better than trying to use like initially I was going to try to use like a wooden base, and like the one I bought was just too big, and it just added more work, and so I thought that that solution worked out pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this. I'm just going to kind of come in here and stipple what I've got on here. This will add a little texture to this. Now I'm going to bring it up the side of the icicles. And I'll probably add a little bit more because I've got a really big gap right here, in particular that I'm trying to fill between the base and the icicle. So I'll put a little bit on now, blend it out. I'll let it dry for a little bit, and I'll go back and add more on later. But I wanted to have this kind of look right here, kind of coming up the icicles. I'll put some of these little crevices too. But for now, I'm just going to kind of get these gaps filled in and sculpt it a little bit. That's looking pretty good right there. Yeah, so technically, if you the blue in the icicle should have been in reverse. I should have put blue at the base, but what I wanted to do is like so when it was not lit, it had some color. So I kind of reversed it. Typically, ice would be bluer where it's thicker, but I kind of reversed it on this one. It looks good. Alright, so get that on there. I'm going to kind of sculpt this around and bring it up to icicles a little bit. I'm trying to get a good camera view so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to zoom out as much as I can. That way I can work and not have to worry about it being on camera. So I'm just going to work one set of icicles at a time. Get the stuff on there, sculpt it a little bit. Blend it out. Okay, that's looking really good already. So I don't want like this harsh edge right here. We want this to kind of come out a little bit. And since it's a little drier, I'm gonna use my sculpting tool and just kind of that's looking pretty good. They're gonna have another winner by the time this guy's done.
Provincial Ambassador Zandon, do you have a question or a comment about the murder?
couldn't have solved the access without it.
No one else thought to use it. Not in 500 years.
Let me take a read. Calais' writing is poetic. It's beautiful, but it's hard to imagine his aiming regularly.
So, serious scholars don't read her. Why did you?
I went to Calais for the rhythm of the words at first. I missed the map. But when I read between the lines, I realized she was proposing a radical theory about rings of integers in non-Archimedean local fields.
Indeed she was. It does make me wonder, though, how you managed to stumble across Calais' ninth proof in the first place, given where you were. This isn't syntax scale. Curiosity isn't a crime, yeah?
I was only
I'm going to put a little bit of snow in these little crevices here.
thought like I thought. The math doesn't take sides, it doesn't judge.
I imagine you were. A mind like yours in a place like that. Carly's original proof manuscript, written in her native Thraxin. You're going to arrest me tomorrow.
What?
It's almost a certainty.
Arrest? Why?
As long as there a chance it won't happen, it's not enough of worth discussing.
No, this has to be a mistake.
People like you. Numbers. Are you familiar with my work, psychohistory?
Every mathematician has read
Do
your...
you agree with the concept?
in theory, but I don't know what it has to do with...
It's the theory. It's the destiny of the human race expressed in numbers. It's the reason we are takes.
Why do you predict the future?
You like me to believe I can. They don't like the future I predict.
Which is what?
Trantor is going to be destroyed. The Empire will fall. You understand? These aren't things I'm anxious to tell people. It's just what the math tells me.
Why did you come all this way just to arrest me?
That's a good question. You tell me.
I solved the access. You think I'm the only one who can prove you wrong?
You are, if I was, but I'm not.
Did you know this when you were showing me the sights?
There's more at stake here than you can imagine, Gail.
I risked my life coming here, and now you want me to risk it again just to support your numbers.
That's not entirely accurate, is it, Gail? You left Synax one step ahead of the rest yourself, so you know math is never...
Ooh, that looks good. There's one icicle. I think that looks pretty good. Got blended in the base. Got a little snow here in the crevices. Got the gaps filled.
Get some sleep. You should take the most of your nights to divide in the hotel. We'll talk soon. I know it's not the prize you gave me for, but it will have to do.
I can't keep this.
Of course you can. This building will burn one day. Stealing isn't mercy. 'Cause I know. 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 'Cause
icicles into the base. The icicles were printed on the base. That's what made the base so hard to clean up. The whole base was printed in clear. Oh, these are, yes, these are glued on. The big ones are, yes. It's all one piece now. Yeah, because I had to, yeah, you weren't around yesterday when I was, were you around when I was doing the wiring? Yesterday? I showed that yesterday on camera.
For 9 centuries, the Anvil built a green in Sergio Antwerp. Last year, Thespis identified a rogue asteroid which they believe drifted from the area governed by the agreement. Which is no official position.
Okay.
Just on the terms. North Korea believes Thespis is imperial blood has been shed on cold rock 50,000 light years from home. For any of these three beliefs, 1,000 wars have been fought. The next days will determine if there will be another. Respect and enjoy the peace. For the dawn, what do you make of that?
If Thespis were to have magnitude, I would put it the earth above asteroids act together neutral.
Pretty good. Enough for the group.
Iron and deciduous made of heavy period. Intel from the rogue asteroid. How much would you say of deciduous?
Maybe 50%.
Closer to a quarter.
Currently, the Thespins tithe 10% of the mind orders. This is where we're quietly saying they go all the way to 25% if we side with them.
Does we want to be alright? More people than the arrow to us.
That's right.
Dear PhD Canadian, I have none. It's like the hunting song.
You missed a good day.
Hunting.
Got a lot of cool stuff done yesterday. Did all the wiring.
Is simply politics sweeter tongue.
Finished up kind of the weathering on Mr. Freeze.
Our attention
I mean, if that YouTube hasn't been taken down, you can go back and watch it if you want. I think I was on for like 7 hours yesterday.
the big stick.
Thank you.
So, young girl, don't overthink the stick.
The Seer Church. Do we have time?
She can sit. He will stand. But he will need to dismount. Never did an idle talk.
Words make us speak. Do you know who I am?
I know that she has totally secret words from her face and can't be seen by a girl.
Do you know who I am?
She has solved one of life's ancient puzzles.
Yeah, it's a cool piece, man. I'm really happy with the paint on him.
She's almost as famous as her new god. Sadly,
He's not a god.
he is not.
Once I get the base kind of snowed effects on, I'll put him on the base and add some snow to him here and there.
As with his followers, as will she. Sculpting.
Well, shit, I'm getting snow on the bottom here. Hopefully it comes off. But it's inevitable, unfortunately.
They threaten not just Trantor, but the entire galaxy's existence. I will prove that Dr. Sullivan and his followers engaged in a conspiracy designed to destroy the confidence in our empire. Dr. Sullivan, will you rise? You hail from the world of helicopters. Yes? You set your current position here on Trantor. I'm a professor of probability theory at Streeling University. Specifically, the area of psychohistory. Define that for us, please. Psychohistory is a predictive model designed to forecast the behavior of very large populations. In plain spoken terms, you claim to be able to predict the future. Well, I don't know what you're going to have for dinner, if that's what you're asking. You know what I'm asking. The Galactic Empire comprises some 8 trillion individuals. Would you say that was a large enough sample to make a prediction? It is. And do you have a prediction for that particular sample? I do. Indulgence. Trantor and the Galactic Empire will lie in ruins within 5 centuries. Accepting your statement for the moment, can you prove it's true? Call it another mathematician conversant in model analysis. How convenient. Your truths are so esoteric they escape the grasp of nearly every citizen to science. The Imperium is 12,000 years old, Doctor. Are we really to believe that it could be done in just 500? Maybe quicker. A rotten tree trunk appears strong until the storm breaks it in two. Consider recent events in the outer reach. We're not here to consider any other. The Empire will fall. Order will vanish. Interstellar wars will be endless. 10,000 worlds reduced to radioactive cinders. Nothing we do can prevent this. This dear Barton. How long do you claim it will last? 30,000 years, Alfred. I submit to the court that Dr. Selden's predictions are actually intended to destroy public confidence. I'm not a revolutionary. Well then, what are you? You've already said the future cannot be changed, so what exactly is the purpose of your project? I'm trying to soften the fall. It cannot be prevented. This massive events rushing to meet us. But we can soften the hurricanes that follow. How much? If we embrace your plan, how much? We shall be in the dark for 1,000 years, Alfred. And if that is all, we shall thank the gods for it.
Alrighty. So I'm using golden light molding paste mixed with woodland scenic snowflake. The more snowflake you add to it, the drier the snow, the fluffier it is, and the more modeling paste, the more sculpting capabilities you have. So I tend to put on a really kind of a wet layer first, more molding paste than snow to kind of get the shape and everything I want, and then I'll mix up a lighter batch and put on top. You missed it, but like this bottom part, I filled in this entire gap with the molding paste and snow because there's like a half-inch gap at the bottom of these icicles. Just use it to blend it up. I'm putting it in all the recesses and stuff, like where snow would naturally collect. So right now I'm just going a bit around the base of all the icicles to kind of get those blended in. And then we add it to the other areas. And then I'll put Mr. Freeze on the base and add some to him. I'm gonna put a ton. I won't put a ton on him, just a little bit here and there. Look like he's. So I use a sculpting tool to kind of put it in place and push it down because this is actually a really dry mix right now, and it's kind of hard to get it to stick. As I mentioned before, when I was putting the blue on the icicles, I didn't when I was clear coating the icicles, I didn't clear coat all the way down to the bottom of the icicles. I did about 3/4 of the way down because you really need kind of a matte slash flat finish for this stuff to stick well. Of course, the more molding paste you use, the easier it is to get to stick. Like this is a pretty dry mix, so I may mix up another little batch here. It's a little wetter. So I'm using it to fill in gaps around the icicles, and I blend it out with the, you just get a shitty brush because it's going to be trash by the time you're done with it. There's no ratio, so I just mix it based on my previous experiences of using it. It actually dries relatively quick. Even when I put it on pretty thick, it dries. I mean, this will be dry. By the time I'm done with this, for the most part, it'll be dry. This will take me a couple hours. Yeah, I mean, this is just something I found. I found this out on YouTube. I was looking how to do snow. I was doing a Weapon X a couple years ago. I was like, how do you do snow effects? And this one was the easiest method I found, and it works really, really freaking good. There are other couple of on a smaller scale thing that would look really good. And basically, I found it on the on Tested's channel. They recommend using like spraying your surface with a flat coat, and then dusting baking powder onto it real lightly, and you get this really nice dusting of snow and everything. It looks really good. It'd be a little out of scale on this. It'd be too fine, I think.
The ancients are rumored to have built a repository for the world's wisdom. According to myth, it burned down. I'm proposing something less century-based. An encyclopedia galactica. After the fall, a civilization climbs from the ashes. The coming generations will have something to build upon. A foundation. They won't have to reinvent the wheel. The knowledge will already exist. But it isn't just knowledge we'd be saving, but humanity's story. Our story.
Trent already has an imperial man.
For how long?
Well, that statement does bring us to the heart of the matter. You say you can prove your theorem to someone conversant in ordinal analysis?
Come on. Please, guys. Approach the decks, if you will.
We're from Sirius. We should save them. We've had your Prestons work. You almost look like one of us. My understanding of your role is that to remove the Prestons is to break with the sewer church. Is that right?
That is church doctrine, yes.
Tell me, are they still purely scientists and mathematicians?
If you're talking about the purge, then
The church's term is the claimants, your exaltants. When was it, according to church doctrine, that it stopped being heresy to study math?
it never stopped.
You solved the Abraxas project.
Yes.
The world where they burned the universities down. You must have been alone there. I can imagine how it must have felt to be recognized by Dr. Harry Sutherland. To begin your journey to the valley.
What do you want to know?
I want to know if there is any
Yeah, I discovered that whole genre of music like 2 years ago. I'm a metalhead by heart from heart, man. I love like heavy metal, progressive rock, Rush, Dream Theater, Iron Maiden, all stuff. And I discovered that whole genre of like electric techno, whatever. And man, I just love it. It's like it got such a good vibe. I love it. I found them from listening to Gunship, which they were introduced to me years ago by someone. I think I was doing a broadcast. Like, hey, you should check out the Gunship, and I checked out. Oh man, it's really good. You know, it's a flashback to the '80s, man. I love it. I wanted to go see the Midnight came to Dallas not too long ago. I wanted to go see him, but the tickets I thought were really expensive. I gotta watch this scene. You guys watch the show Foundation? Oh, it's so good. There's a scene where they blow up the sky bridge or the space bridge or whatever. Space elevator. Yeah, you're dead. Oh yeah, I played it not too long ago. I can play it through my computer on here, but the sound is terrible because it's off my computer speakers. Yeah, good old Wind Tunnel, my band Wind Tunnel. Yeah, I recorded that album back when I was 30. That's almost 20 years. God, I feel so fucking old. We did that when I was 30, 20 years ago. That was kind of on my bucket list. I wanted to be in a band and record an album / CD and play live. So we did that here locally. I think the only person out of our entire band that still is like there's two that are still like musicians. One is our keyboard player Jocelyn, and then our lead guitar player, Dave. He's a guitar. He was out in LA for a long time. He was playing with some pretty well-known bands out there. I was never a great guitar player. I was okay. I was good. I like playing rhythm guitar. I was never a lead guitar player. I didn't have the chops for it, but I love playing rhythm.
We had more part of this whisper.
We will, of course, be returning your gifts.
So if you want like a light dusting of this stuff, you just put a little bit on your brush. And just dab. Now I'm just kind of getting it collected in all the undercuts and everything where it would collect.
I've already seen his math of Zorius. You've lost faith.
Shall I speak first?
By all means, Dr. Sullivan. Speak.
You hold us responsible. Happy or not, my science that predicts societal actions trends no individual ones. But I'm not surprised it happened.
Why is that? It's stretched too thin.
Dope.
That's why I told you that the outer reach struck first, and who can blame them? Sensing vulnerability, soon other players will begin to apply downward pressure. An exhortation from one of the galaxy's major religions is a given, but perhaps a homegrown insurrection here on Stargate. Who did this?
I don't know.
Tell me why I shouldn't kill you. My followers are responsible.
We don't want this on the tops of the icicles. Just wipe it off.
So speak.
Agent Joe asked me to check Dr. Sargent's work. Mentality for in the equation. Can you kill him? Sure accelerates.
That's a convenient data point for your side.
And then he can shoot the difference. Kill him or kill her. Kill her. Kill him.
Only two people who can save the galaxy are in this room. And one of them's wrong. Agreed.
If the fall can be listening?
You know what I'm saying.
They're listening now.
Fine. No one's here.
That praxis. What's the name? Not here. I just moved before they did. You have more agency here, girl, than you realize.
The Emperor has determined that your deaths are not the optimal outcome for the good of the Imperium. You will be allowed to refine your work on psychohistory to build your foundation. But not on Trento. Terminus. It is uninhabited. Sitting in the periphery, along the galaxy's outer reach.
Justice also in the periphery.
Yes, the barbarian kingdoms will be our neighbors. You journey this notion. The Empire forbids you access to jump drive technology.
It's a race.
On Terminus, you will not trouble Trento, and there will be no disturbance of the Empire's peace. The galaxy will know that you are fighting the Fall. If psychohistory proves fraudulent, your foundation will be allowed to wither and vanish.
But if it's successful, we'll co-opt it and use it to bolster your regime.
Terminus, I've never even heard of it.
There's no reason you would. It's 50,000 light years away. On a jump drive, the journey there,
878 days.
approximately. We'll be fine. There'll be hardships, no question. We will Terminus. Orbits a red dwarf, the seasons are extreme, metal miniature.
You know it well. Exile is always the key.
Terminus was always the observations, not the periphery. Imperial support without Imperial eyes, it's girlfriend.
How many others knew?
Always. What you said to the Emperor, how much far into my match did you look? What did you actually see?
I couldn't quite figure it.
So you lied.
Hypothesized. It's not to me who you wanted to hear while sins were rising. I thought if I could make people listen, I could save them.
Changes right now. Especially as well as
All right, now it's starting to look cold. Finally, starting to look cold.
When I looked into the pine window, I could see the darkness. It took my breath away at first. It was crushing. But then I looked deeper and I could see this tiny silver black flame in the middle. And I realized that's not the fall they're afraid of. It's the chance that your plan will actually succeed. It takes more power to build than to burn. And I want to build, Harry.
you'll get your chance. This isn't the Foundation's first crisis, and it won't be our last.
And something tells me you already know what the next crisis will be.
The Emperor's peace will be maintained. From Synax to Tranta, and now Terminus. You came here hoping to save your world. I'm asking you to dream bigger. Why stop at one hour? Why not save the galaxy?
Why not indeed? subcutaneous nanomass explosives used by the bombers who destroyed the Star Bridge. What we don't know is the identity of the people who contracted with your lab to have this work done. The device my associate is supplying will stimulate your phonic nerves and allow you to breathe again. The next words you utter will determine if that device remains functional. So, who purchased the bombs? We've questioned thousands of persons of interest, but the chain of intermediaries linking the bomb maker to the attack's true authors has proven intractable.
How many bodies are still orbiting Trent?
127,000, Emperor.
Why haven't they been retrieved?
It hasn't been the highest priority. Rescue and recover them.
Priority. The corpses have been catching fire as they re-enter the atmosphere. All anyone has to do is look. We need negative algorithms. We need results. We need certainty. I wonder where Exile Selden and his followers.
No evidence links them to the attack.
The evidence exonerates them. I could destroy them still in their distance. You could say we did. But it's also used to save every hour on an hour until the air is made of that. It's no means to breathe.
Martyring dissidents is a risky enterprise.
So is annoying work.
Okay. It's looking really freaking good. Kind of trick with this is to put it in the recesses, but you got to blend it up so it looks like it collected there naturally. Otherwise, it just looks like you stuffed frosting in all the recesses. So you got to kind of trick is kind of sculpting it to look realistic. Now you can go wipe it off where I got it where I don't want on the glossy parts. I don't seal it. I don't do anything with it. It does, you know, if you mess with it too much, it can come off. But I've shipped pieces that I've done this to, and it's very minimal. Once this paste dries, it's pretty hard. This looks a hell of a lot better than painting something that's sculpted to look like snow. This looks way more realistic. In fact, anytime I have a surface that's got sculpted snow in it, I put this on top of it. Now, I will say the advantage to having sculpted snow is I can put, I will do an underpaint with shading and stuff. So when I put the snow in there, it's got a lot of depth. So if you go back and look at, there's the Weapon X, like actually one of the first ones I did. The base had sculpted snow, and I basically did a gray skull paint on it. A gray scale paint on it. So when I put the snow on, it had a lot of shape and depth to it. That's the main advantage. So it's just not just white, but I don't seal it. I don't do anything to it. And the more paste you use, the less, fluffy snow it looks. It looks more. And the more paste you use, the easier it sticks. So it's kind of a I've got like 3 different mixtures usually. Kind of like a wet mix, which is like really good for putting the initial snow on, and then I'll put a little more snow in it and like a medium mix, and then just kind of build it up till it's a dry mix. So this is right here is what I would consider like a wetter mix to get this to stick where I want it to. I just jab it where I want, and just kind of naturally goes in the crevices.
We need to stop taking this so seriously.
When this goes on, it'll look glossy, but when it dries, it's flat. It's a matte finish. Wherever you have a lot of the paste. Come on, try to pick up that little bit right there.
Siobhan, I'm picking up high levels of mercury and arsenic there. Just be careful. Try and seal that seam quick. Congratulations, you guys are 0 for 3. Because you were the primary blast radius, Gail and Siobhan, both of you suffered from overpressure to your hollow organs. I could try, but I doubt I could find a more painful way to die. Mari, Rowan, Alice. You were all killed by exploded rock fragments. The good news, it was instant. The bad news, you're still dead.
Better than nothing tearing us apart.
But what the hell was that? A bishop's door, welcoming the fauna and ending it to the outer reach. Alice is right. It seems unfair. If you hadn't fired, the bishop's door would have probably killed us all anyway. Yes, it is unfair. Everything about Terminus is unfair.
Okay, so I got snow all around the icicles. It looks pretty good.
To succeed. We'll try again or something for tomorrow.
Miss Dornick, practice on what's
And plug this. Let's see what it looks like lit up.
it's older than the world records. Those that have sympathizers there.
Ooh, that looks pretty. Okay, I missed some spot right there. See it? This will tell me where I gotta put more snow. There, right there. Okay.
We've had trouble with the lava tube.
We always have trouble with the lava tube.
What's your solution?
Don't set all the foundation near the lava tube.
We need it for energy.
We need 2 volts for wells for diaphragm energy. And we won't have any if unstable veins keep igniting. Splitter?
What alive? Have you run flight projections using this morning's sim data?
Yeah.
Including blue team's catastrophe?
34.2% mortality after 5 years power fall.
Trending downwards. Optimism abounds.
Tell that to 1,710 people.
That's the reason we run sim stuff.
Morning, Harry.
Morning, Harry. I was Dr. Silver. This channel.
So, we knew such a bad thing. There was no the man behind the math. What's numbers then?
It's just numbers.
Math is never just numbers. When words fail us, we use math to describe the inexpressible. The things that terrify us most. The vastness of space. The shape of time. The weight and worth of a human soul.
That's an old Anacreon hunting song, isn't it? You invoke it before you kill the enemy. Yes! Anyone could sing that, Emperor. That's not true. We've tried to sing this song, Steve. It's part of our education. Never mastered it either. Not like a native, but it sounds perfect. Doesn't it? As we have for the last 2 weeks.
Looks good.
I cannot find the words for it. The words are the destruction of the Star Bridge and the deaths of 100 million citizens of Trenton. That was desperate, wasn't it? Can you translate? I assume you can also recognize the desperate prayer heard right before bombs ripped the orbital platform from the stock.
With all due respect, Empire, that prayer
Hasn't been sung in 88 years.
desperately sing. My government continues to deny.
Sure.
Recording is authentic. Don't have answers.
Some words.
These walls hate each other.
More than they hate the Empire.
Historically, yes. The idea they collaborate was such a thing.
And yet, someone's
Coco, be quiet. Alright, so now I'm putting snow like in the crevices of the pipes and stuff. Where it would collect. And then I'll do kind of a light dusting on.
Tell Dr. Sundin we're running an extra electricity tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to finish up the system. I'm not here about that. Does the father know? We barely know each other. The same speak, but I don't handle tricky things.
Okay. So this stuff isn't not cheap. This is like $18 a pot. So I do charge a little extra when I do this stuff in like LEDs. Just like an extra material cost because it really eats into what I make on these things. So I'll charge like 20 bucks for the paste because that's what I'll spend on it. The LEDs with the plug was, I think it was 35 or 40. So the lights were about 40 bucks. The paste, so it's like an extra $60 to do like a snow, to do lights on certain things, and then the snow's like an extra 20 bucks just because it's outside of paint and glue for materials.
It's okay for Harry Seldon to lie to me, I expect, but not from you. Just tell me the truth. That's how I know it's you talking, and not him. I know the direct thing to do is Gail. I know. If you're looking at this, I know that what we're doing on this ship isn't really living. We're just preparing to live. For someone else to live. It's the plan. What if I let them take her everything? Something happens and I never get to grow inside me and I'll just never get to look into her eyes. It would be nothing less. Where's our desk?
What do you mean your mother?
Empire missed you in the throne room.
I don't think so.
Where are you going?
You know it.
I'm just kind of putting some in some other crevices and stuff where it will collect any like horizontal surface. Corners.
This sleep clears these eyes. Ideal they have seen. Weapons left outside.
Okay, I think the base is just about there.
Harry, is there something you want to talk about?
I said your wish. She exceeds my expectations. We both did.
You know, these last few months have been a gift. I gambled on exile. I did my best to engineer the outcome.
I never expected that I would be among the ship's occupants.
What changed?
We're late in Foundation meeting.
5 minutes early, 3 minutes late, to Miss Ivy.
Okay.
He knows about us.
This is like a historian who reads math, not minds.
I read math too, and I know exactly what you're thinking. You're afraid to tell him, and you don't want to talk about it.
He doesn't read.
You told me he wouldn't like it.
He wouldn't.
Because he doesn't want us to be happy?
Because he thinks relationships are a distraction.
So start telling human relationships. What are we trying to say?
I'm not saying we have to be robots. He just thinks that you
So
and I
what's
have
Janice then? Math's not complete.
What?
The math. Harry's plan. It's not all worked out. I saw it when I had the primary hearing. I never mentioned it in the trial. It's close. I'm not saying it's not close, but not everything is solved. It's like a puzzle with 1,000 pieces. If a few are missing, you know, there's a high probability of what the picture is, but they're still missing.
How many pieces are missing? Enough to make a different picture.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know I helped yourself in this?
He's not coming. I'm sitting in.
All right. When you're ready. Right. Would you like to bring us up to speed from the budget subcommittee?
The subcommittee confirms assigning 5.6% of the initial research and survey budget to the 3% of planets closest to Chandra.
Is 5.6% a lot? It seems like a lot. I'm sorry. Is it okay to ask questions?
Of course. But it's not the first time that we have discussed where to begin our preservation work.
Does the allocation algorithm weight towards heterogeny? And if so, how many?
Capacity and variance are cornerstones of the Foundation's mission. Those inner worlds represent 40 trillion people, 300 planets over 100 different languages, and we just have the allocations, not a computer program.
Point is, the allocations were developed through the Foundation's values. So what we say says everything about who we are.
Of course. And what is the Foundation's feeling about base 10?
What do you mean?
Base 10? The numbering system, 1, 2, 3.
You know what it is.
Of course you do. Because it's the math of Trantor and the math of almost every single system in 3% of the galaxy. I assume you aim to preserve it?
It's how we count.
It's how you count. And your neighbours. Will you be preserving base 12 or 27? Over 1,000 worlds use base 12 because 12 is teeny divisible by more factors than 10 is. 300 systems use base 27. It comes from counting bytes.
What is your
My
point?
point is, as we begin preserving the most essential pieces of civilization, deciding what is remembered, what is forgotten. How will we know what those things are if we can't even agree on how to count them?
let's put Mr. Freeze on here and add some snow to him.
You still see
Too far along the way, no, same as you.
Yeah, we're gonna go crazy on him.
They didn't die. They were destroyed.
I'm gonna take the gun off for now.
It's different.
is that why you don't like me to see how you hurt yourself?
I don't like it because it's immodest. I can humiliate it. I can humiliate it. It's confusing to commit to one reality.
Avoiding me, Harley. You know I hate stairs. You hate this. If I want to sentimentalize old emperors, I can just look across the dinner table.
What's up, John? What's up, Darren?
Say whatever that was like. Can you imagine? The sheer she was reliant to think so much of your business. Your mind so
Yeah, I was gonna kind of go
you decide
kind of light on Mr. Freeze.
that not only will you be the first, but the one. I will be the river from which all rivers flow. He was right. For us, and yet here we are. Yet instead, with the prophecy of trillions more. So then it's just a man. And so what we once when you go to the sky. To see priests. They're still pulling bodies out of the wreckage. As they have been for weeks, I wanted to see what happened to our world. As you should have. As Emperor. I am Emperor. At least you're honest about that. I don't want to meet with you, Anacreon, and just being dead. It's not your job, no, but it is my right.
I did this model and did. It's not even copper. It's not even a metallic. It's just a tan. Yeah, I kind of like the sculpt lends itself to like a steampunk kind of color scheme. So that's why I went with the warm tone on this clothes, and it plays really nicely with the cool tones of the the ice, and his armor's like a aqua green. It's not just or aqua blue, so it's kind of a greenish blue. It's not just straight up blue. So yeah, kind of leaned into the kind of steampunk kind of look because of the sculpt is very steampunkish. So I think the colors fit this piece really well.
What do you want? Do you know the truth?
For weeks now, we have been nothing but honest.
Why have we seen an Anacreon son and denied it was us who have done so?
The extremists amongst your ranks.
You must admit it makes no sense.
Or perhaps your government has not told you everything.
We have been loyal citizens of the Imperium for 3,000 years.
How old is Prophet Anacreon?
Someone is trying to destroy us.
Someone is punishing us to darkness.
Please,
You're going to die.
The Empire is going to kill you. And it won't be enough for what you did. For the smells. For the stinging in the eyes. The dust of children, mothers and fathers in our throats. It is a taste in my mouth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, put a lot of snow on the base. On him, I'm not going to go crazy. I don't want to cover up too much of the details, so I'm going to do like a light dusting on him. But one thing I like what they did on the Prime 1 is they they put some on the tank, so I want this to kind of look frosted. But I'm going to concentrate mostly on his feet, the lower part of them. And I may do some around the dome. I don't know. And as it dries on the base, I can add more here and there to kind of sculpt it in a little bit better. Like right here, I can use a little more to transition this in. Hard part is getting it kind of off the brush and onto the surface. And then once it's on there, you can stipple it in it.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Of course. You like our bit.
Are you happy? Happy with the progress on the plan? Congratulations.
Well, it's going to be a long journey. We face challenges. Maybe all will follow, but I am confident in the success of our endeavor. And the principal reason for that is you. All of you. I approved the passenger manifest, each and every known point. 100 years from now, perhaps even 1,000, your names will be memorialized. The believers who threw their lot in with an eccentric, acclaimed the fate of the galaxy on the back of a theorem so abstract. Well, it might as well have been a prayer. And it won't matter what you do. Whether you work as an ultrasound scrubber, a heat exchange engineer, or here in the laundry. Because that prayer can't endure without people. Without you. So, thank you, Ethan. I'm sorry about the late, sir. No matter. I'm used to it. It's a sign of hard work. You have to tell me. Yes, sir. May I shake your hand? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of do a dusting on him.
How are we doing with the 3D?
Use that cheap Apple paint.
Why do you leave the budget low? Could be used to frame your face.
Man, I use yeah, I can use. I know a lot of guys that I know guys that I got a bunch of friends who paint for Sideshow, and they use mostly craft paints.
I'll do it to you.
No, just, I'll figure it out.
I use craft paints all the time. If you know how to use them, they work well. They just don't have any pigment in them, so they're, you know, you can airbrush them and stuff, and I use them for washes.
Is that room? Of course. Thank you. Grace, you probably don't remember the first meal that you and I had together, do you? No, I can't say. Well, it wasn't much. I can say that. I just started at university, didn't have much of a food budget. I get stale sourdough and greasy,
but I don't want to put a ton on him.
By putting him in the rare books room, two Alvarez folios to be stuffed in his pants. I never did figure out, how did you know Alvarez would bring you the most money in the black market? Well, it's supposed to be the easiest to shop in the shorts. Your mother, as far as I could decipher, had passed. And your father was drinking whatever money you were able to bring back.
That's right. My father was a drinker.
I'm getting close to being done, I think.
My father worked in the heat sinks. He'd been in an accident, neck ran down his back. I stole the books from medicine. So he could go back to work. He didn't come until later. After I left to live with you.
Let's take Nova out of his hand. Put her to the side.
Apparently, I'm better at predicting the future than I am at remembering the past.
Never seen that set up before.
Yeah, it was once upon a TV case. I never used it for this.
What's happening to your Harry?
Yeah, the craft paints, they have a very matte fit. Well, they actually do make gloss ones, but they're even worse than the matte ones. But they do have a flat matte finish. I don't know why my camera did that. That's weird. You don't want to look at me.
His mistakes. He's not perfect. I'm afraid I know the huge mistakes are important.
Just want a little bit on his armor.
Still be working.
I wanted the base mostly covered in snow.
But you
So I just want to get light dusting on him. A couple areas where it's kind of collected in the corner, like here, in his armor. A little bit. I'm gonna put more on his backpack than anything.
I'm not turning around now.
Is that still his joints though?
When we get to turning this,
We'll have a ceiling.
our own little piece of frigid land. Our boat home. Maybe with a couple kids dozing by the fire. That's a pretty little science explanation, kids. Still happen?
Yep. With you. I want it all.
It was nice while it lasted.
I'm happy with that. Got a little bit on his chest, a little bit of dusting on his legs, mostly around his feet and stuff. Yeah, no one else paints it like a manhole cover. I painted it to look like a manhole cover. Everyone paints it all the same silver or whatever. I was like, yeah, that's a manhole cover, so I made it look like rusty steel. It looks great. And it just adds another little dimension to the base. So,
The Emperor's peace. It is the promise of the Imperium. It is the promise of Clan first. And each clan after her. It is a race run across centuries. A tar handed from generation to generation. We will not drop. Not today. Or tomorrow. Or any tomorrow after. Threaten the peace and pay a dear price.
Trenta has been deeply wounded, but none of our citizens remain untouched.
The pain will be felt by all for generations. It will scar them forever, but they will survive. They will live on.
Our world will live on. You will not. And neither will your worlds.
Not without wounds and scars.
okay, I don't think I want to do much more on him. There's quite a bit going on here. Do a little on the tanks, I think. I'll probably call the snow done.
often walking a journey others have made before. Once I prayed in the words of my parents, but then my world expanded, and the words fell short of my reality. I pray in a different language now.
Pretty good to the top, a little to the bottom. Hopefully this gives a sense of these are frosted over a little bit. Well, and a little bit around the edge of the dome. I don't know if they'll stick. It's glossy, we'll see. I might look cool to have a little bit. I didn't think I needed to just brush this shot. Let's use this brush. Take your hand off again.
Every world has ghosts. And every house is haunted by them.
Come on.
Even the palace of the
Let's take it off so I don't fuck it up.
especially the palace of the Empire.
Where have you been?
With the systems programmers,
Lately you've been with them more than with me.
you've set them a large task.
Should we look to replace them?
They'll see it through.
I can count on you, mademoiselle, to see it through,
Of course, Clean.
and not just that. Everything. I always assumed you'd stay on after I'm score, but it occurred to me, in the more darkest of my life, I shouldn't take anything for that.
I'm loyal to the Empire.
I can't now. You should have, that was like on day one. Everything is one piece. Well, he comes off the base, but yeah, the dome comes off, so you can display him with or without the dome. And then his hand comes off right now, but I'll glue it on eventually here in a minute.
I'm happy with your success. Because
I'm just gonna do a little kind of frosting around the edge of the dome here, real light. And then he's magnetized to the base. He comes off the base, obviously. Yeah, he's all one piece, backpack, everything. Now, for yours, Tony, when I need to ship them, I'll try to. Well, I don't know. I really like to glue them all together.
I should have seen the conclusion of the Stone Age. You,
Ideally, he's all one piece. It's just easier for gap filling and stuff.
together and looked down on all that we had made.
For continuity, so sure.
Do you think of it all?
You know the way I am. I don't forget anything. Or anyone. Empire is always in my mind.
The platform's order is dying at an accelerated rate. Or so say the physicists who worry it'll just fall on their heads.
Their job is to worry over those things.
Is it not ours? Perhaps. It is still yours, but no longer mine. Because it is no longer his.
How you spend this last day is up to you.
Magnetize. Well, that's the thing. There's some nice gaps in the arms, and I really need to glue them on to fill in the gaps.
Shut off this thing.
We'll see on your print how well they fit. If they fit good enough where I don't have to
Just on him.
do a ton of gap filling, I'll make them
Don't
come off.
on the throne.
It's kind of like, it's like you have to look at,
Identical
again, since I don't have to ship this, I have the luxury of not, I can glue them to the base actually if I wanted to, and I'm going to. Yeah, so I treat every, depending on if I'm shipping or not shipping, well, determines a lot of times what I glue together or not. Ideally, everything is one piece. It's easier, it takes less time. And then the drill holes for magnets and all that stuff. But we'll do whatever we need to do. pretty good. Just a little bit of frosting around the edge of the dome. Yeah, it really ties it together nicely. I'm gonna do the same thing on Nova. Around the base of the dome. That looks really freaking good, man. My first Mr. Freeze, I think he turned out fucking awesome. I really like him. Alright, so Medieval Logan showed up and Femi likes it. Which is awesome. Dude, this looks so cool. Man, this looks, no pun intended, but it looks so badass. I love this thing. Got a little more frost on the back end here. Maybe it'll be a little more frosty next to the tanks. Okay, I think that is plenty of snow on him. A little frosty effect going on. I don't think we're going to put anything on the gun. Let's leave that as is, I think. But I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Because you can still take that dome off. Now the only thing on this is that these two parts don't, there's like a tiny little bit of a hair of a gap between this pipe and that pipe. I'm not going to worry about it because I just now noticed it after working on this thing for 2 weeks. I just noticed it. So I'm not gonna kill myself to go in there and try to fix it. It's not worth 45 minutes of all, you know, to do it. So if I just now noticed it after 10 days of working on this, I don't think anyone, it's not, you know, crazy noticeable. So all right, just yeah, so right at 40, right at about 80 hours for those guys to do this one, guys. It was, so by the time I get done with this, done today. Okay, so that looks really good. I'm gonna put a little snow on Nova here around her base. The dome is glued on. So that doesn't come off anymore. But a little frosting around her, kind of like I did on his helmet. Hopefully to sell the idea that it's cold. I had to sand the inside of this dome yesterday too, because I had a hard time just getting I did my best to get the best clear dome I could. Spraying in there is really hard. I had some runs for my initial application of clear. I had to try to sand them out. I tried to strip it, but it's automotive 2K clear, and it was not coming off. So I had to wet sand it yesterday, and that took a while just to get the run out that I had. So I wet sanded it with 600, then 800, and then I just used my Mr. Color GX Clear to kind of redo it, and it turned out okay. After I'm done with her, I'm gonna probably sign off. I gotta clean up my workbench, and this all needs to dry for a while. I'll grab some lunch, and I'll take pictures this afternoon, and he will be wrapped.
To see my youngest self.
Which is why you made the ring.
I never heard that song before.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no one to the end I love you so. I'm sorry. I cannot put a look on that child last night. Something wasn't right.
So I sculpted that to his hand so well, this kind of snaps in now. Oh, that looks good.
You must go.
You should rest.
I'll put a little bit on his fingers here too. That should blend in a little bit. So his modeling paste, you put it on, it's glossy. When it dries, it's a matte finish. So it looks really good. It's perfect for snow. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna call this guy done. I really don't know. I'm at to the point where I don't know what else I would do to him. That's usually when I know I'm done with something. A lot of times it's hard to. I get asked like, "How do you know when you're done with a piece?" And like, I just go until I get to the point where what else would I do to this, and then that tells me I'm done. Because sometimes it's hard to know when to stop. The only thing I got some more snow here. I may just go on and I think the base looks pretty good. I could probably do a little dusting here and there on the base, a little more. Not much. I got a lot of little loose bits of snow from when you put it on. Sometimes it doesn't stick and it falls. I could like put some, I could collect maybe around the letters a little bit. I don't want to cover up too much because I want to be able to see the difference between that kind of rusted manhole cover color and the bottom, which is a cooler blue. So I'm always trying to play color temperature against each other, warms and cools, color tones to help kind of give dimension to things. So that's one reason I want to do this in a kind of a rusted color, because it plays really well with the cool metallics of the bottom and then the blue of the icicles and everything. So I'm always trying to look, okay, how can I add some more, interest to something just in color tones, between cool and warm colors. So I'm blowing off like the loose stuff, because as I dab it, sometimes it doesn't stick and it just falls. So I just try to blow that excess off. Not too often that I impress myself, but I think I'm gonna impress myself on this one. It's just fun. It's a different character. I've never done this character, so it's nice to do something other than a Wolverine. I've done what I did 3 Wolverines back to back.
It's time.
A lot of Wolverines. It was nice to do something different. No, I don't like that.
The dream lives on in you because you kept it alive in you.
It was a great show. Foundation, man, it's so good. Okay, calling it done. I keep fucking with it, but I keep like, oh, I could put a little bit here. I need to stop messing with it because then I'll go too far. Got a little bit right there, collected right there in that little crevice.
Everything is on.
That makes sense. A little snow in this crevice. Collect there. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit there, just like that. Just a tiny little bit.
I do.
Okay, I'm calling it done. Stop. Stop messing with it. Alrighty. There we go. My first Mr. Freeze. Really good. So I'm going to let this dry for a couple hours. I'm going to clean up my work area. It is a disaster. I just keep shoving all my crap behind me. But it needs a serious cleaning. So I'll get that done. I need to go grab some lunch, grab something to eat. And I'll post photos later today. So everyone that hung out, thanks for hanging out over the past 2 weeks over this project. And then I think next week I'm going to do the repaint of the 1/3 scale Venom that I have in my possession. It's for a Houston client too. So if I get that one done and this on the side, then I may make a trip down to Houston and deliver these two. I gotta get that Venom out of my garage. The box is just too damn big. The problem is that client wants to give me a Prime 1 Transformer to repaint, and it's 4 boxes, so I may just D3, yeah. Yeah, you gotta get on your PlayStation, man. Get on your PlayStation and learn the controls on your PS5 for D3, because I'm stuck at Greater Rift 125. I know I can do a 130, but it's hard. That's the highest I can do. Like when I go to a 135, I get annihilated. Not that I'm trying to get any higher. My gear, I mean, my character's pretty good. There's only 2 things I could do better gear-wise. I've been farming for 2 ancient rings, and I can't get them. I've been farming forever. So, anyway. I haven't played D4 in forever. It's kind of, this season's kind of over on D4. Hey, have you so the Venom isn't a print, it's a kit, or it came as a kit. My client had it painted and he wasn't happy with it. So it's a repaint. It's not a print, it was a kit. I think it's a very low edition size too. What was I gonna ask you, Tony? Hey, Tony, we should check out Path of Exile 2. That's supposed to be really good. I never played the first one, but it's a free game. It's not free right now. If you want to get early access, it's $30. But it's supposed to be better than Diablo, apparently. So I'm going to put this cup of snow, my excess snow, to the side. And once this is dry, then I know this is dry. So let's plug him in real quick. Let's see what he looks like lit up with the snow on there. this camera working? Let's see. It should be. It says not pointing the right direction. Where's my controller? It's a little crooked, but you get the idea. That's a better view. PO2 is way good. It's way good. It's way better. Yeah, I need to try it out. All right, man. All right, guys. There you go. Mr. Freeze is a wrap. Looks really, really good. I'm super happy with him. And I know my client's going to love him. So I'll post photos later this afternoon once this is all dry. And I got to reset up my lights anyway to tear him down the other night for a photo gig. But he looks awesome. I'm happy with him. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.